This is the podcast to improve your English listening skills while learning something new in English. Every episode, we bring you interesting topics in simple and clear English, so you can listen, learn, and grow. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started.
All right, listeners, welcome back for another deep dive.
It's great to be back.
So this time we're heading to the beautiful island of Bali.
A place of lush landscapes, rich culture.
And some incredible stories, like the one we're about to explore.
Absolutely. It's one that really captures the imagination.
We're talking about the legend of Kebo Iwa.
Kebo Iwa.
A giant who left a huge mark on Balinese history and culture.
Larger than life in every sense of the word.
So picture this. You've got a giant so strong he can build entire villages with his bare hands.
And yet he's also known for his kindness.
A heart of gold, this guy.
A gentle giant.
Exactly, a gentle giant. And that's what makes his story so fascinating.
It really does. You know, this duality is something we see so often in myths and legends.
Right, this idea of incredible strength existing alongside compassion.
Yeah, it makes you think about the nature of power.
Right, does it always have to be about dominance? Or can it be a force for good?
That's a good question.
Well, in Kebo Iwa's case, it seems like it was definitely the latter.
From the very beginning.
From childhood.
Even as a baby, this guy was huge.
And we were talking an entire village was needed just to feed him.
Talk about a big appetite.
Right? That must have been quite the grocery bill.
You know what's interesting is that the villagers never saw him as a burden.
No.
They embraced him. They took care of him.
They loved him.
They did. They saw his potential. They knew that one day his strength could be used to protect them.
And they were right.
Oh, absolutely.
Kebo Iwa grew up to be the ultimate protector.
He used his strength to help everyone around him.
We're talking building homes, digging wells, creating irrigation systems.
He was like a one-man public works department.
Superpowered public works department.
Right, exactly. He wasn't just strong, he was dedicated to his community.
But you know, as we know, peace and harmony don't always last forever.
And that's where things take a turn.
Inner stage, left Gajah Mada.
Gajah Mada.
The ambitious leader of the Majapahit Empire.
A powerful figure with his sights set on expansion.
And Bali was next on his list.
It was a prime target.
But there was one major obstacle standing in his way.
You guessed it.
Kebo Iwa.
The ultimate defender.
Gajah Mada knew that a direct attack wouldn't work.
Not against someone like Kebo Iwa.
So he had to come up with a different strategy.
Something a little more cunning.
A little more deceptive.
Exactly.
He decided to use Kebo Iwa's kindness against him.
A classic case of brains over brawn.
So he sent these emissaries to Bali.
Under the guise of friendship.
They charmed their way to the good graces of the Balinese people.
Showering them with gifts and promises.
And then they dropped this seemingly innocent request.
Oh yeah, the well.
They needed a deep well, dug in a particularly dry area.
A simple request, right?
Seems harmless enough.
But of course, it was all part of a much larger plan.
Kebo Iwa being the trusting soul that he was agreed without a second thought.
He was always eager to help.
Always ready to lend a hand.
So he starts digging this massive well, completely oblivious to the danger lurking just around the corner.
Gajah Mada's forces were lying in wait.
Hidden nearby, ready to strike.
It's a real turning point in the story.
Absolutely tragic.
Kebo Iwa's trust, his desire to help. They became the very tools used against him.
It's a reminder that even the strongest among us can be vulnerable.
Especially to betrayal.
Can you imagine the scene?
Kebo Iwa, deep down in this, well exhausted from the back-breaking work,
And
The
suddenly,
Majapahit troops spring their trap.
burying him alive under a mountain of rocks and earth.
It's heartbreaking, really.
A true hero brought down by treachery.
And in the end, the Majapahistu, they did conquer Bali.
They achieved their goal.
But here's the thing, they could conquer the land.
But they could never conquer the spirit of the Balinese people.
And they could never erase the legend of Kebo Iwa,
His story lived on,
passed down through generations.
a symbol of Balinese resilience.
A reminder that even in defeat, hope can endure.
And some even believe that the wells and irrigation systems he created,
They still benefit the island today.
his legacy continues to live on.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is the power of stories to transcend time and circumstance.
So what can we take away from this legend?
Well, for me, it's about the enduring impact of our actions.
Both good and bad.
Right. Even centuries later, people believe Kebo Iwa's work continues to benefit Bali.
It makes you think about what kind of legacy we're building for ourselves.
What mark will we leave on the world?
That's a powerful question to ponder.
And that's what makes exploring these stories so fascinating.
They offer us a glimpse into different cultures, different ways of thinking,
And they remind us of the universal themes that connect us all.
like the struggle between good and evil,
The power of compassion,
and the importance of remembering those who came before us.
whose stories continue to inspire us today.
Well, listeners, that's it for our deep dive into the legend of Kebo Iwa.
It's been a pleasure exploring this tale with you.
We hope you enjoyed the journey and that you'll join us again next time.
For another adventure into the world of myths and legends.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the spirit of Kebo Iwa alive.
By using your own strength for good.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.